Hey Mama Bears, it's Jamie, and today I want you to meet my new little bear, Frankfurt. My kids named him Frankfurt, so we're gonna call him Frankie. And today he's gonna help me show you 5 different breastfeeding positions that can really help you find a comfortable way to breastfeed. Okay guys, make sure you watch to the very end so that you do not miss out on my very important, very special breastfeeding positioning tip that can help you get a really good latch without all the fuss. Okay guys, real quick before we get started, I just want to ask you if you can go ahead and subscribe to my videos. You can hit that button right there in the corner. If you subscribe to my videos, that just really helps me be able to make more content and make more videos that reach more families so that more families can have help, support, and advice. I really appreciate it, guys. Okay, so one of the most common breastfeeding positions that you might be aware of is the cradle hold or the cross cradle hold. And this is the typical, you know, you're cradling your baby and you turn your baby and you latch your baby and you hold your baby with this arm, or you can do the cross cradle where you hold your baby with this arm. It's really important that if you're holding your baby's neck at all, that you don't hold their head, but you support their neck right here. You can see how my hands are. Like that. The baby's neck supports the neck, but doesn't put too much pressure on the head and helps your baby latch. So the next most common position for breastfeeding is called the football hold. You might have heard of this. I think this one can be really tricky for some people to master, and it's really up to the mom and baby if they like it and can get comfortable. Personal story, this position is recommended a lot for C-sections, and interestingly enough, I could not figure out how to make this one work with my C-section baby, but my other two loved this position. So that is what it is. Every situation is different, just an example of that. But with the football hold, you're gonna hold your baby on the side of your body, and you're gonna let their arms come around you, and you can see on the side here, I'll do it from the side for you. This is what it looks like from the side. You're holding the back of your baby's head and they're tucked under your arm like you're running with a football. But this, I'm sitting upright and in the middle of a bed. Does this look comfortable? Heck no. When you have a real baby, breastfeeding in the football hold like this is not sustainable. It's just not realistic. So what we're gonna do is grab a few pillows, and you're gonna have mom be nice and comfortable in a chair or reclined bed, recliner. I don't have any pillows, so I'm just gonna hold myself up here. And you go ahead and just rest baby on these pillows nice and high. Lean back, rest, and bring baby over to the breast. That way you don't have to work so hard to sit up comfortably. You've got some pillows underneath of you. You've got support on your back, which I do not right now. You will. Support on your back, and you can just rest. You can relax this way. And you have the pillows to support you. You want to make sure that you have your pillows up at baby's height, like keeps baby at breast height for you. One of the common issues that I see with pillows is a lot of people will have the nursing pillows like a Boppy or my breast friend. Yes, I'll link those both in the bottom because they are awesome pillows. But sometimes you need to have a couple other pillows underneath of them to really get the baby at the height you need the baby to be at. Next, I'm going to show you laid back nursing. And this position is one that we talk about a lot to help deal with a lot of different breastfeeding issues, whether it's a hard time getting a good latch, an overactive letdown. There's a lot of times where using laid back breastfeeding can be a really helpful position that makes a huge difference in your experience. So what you're going to do is you're really just, some people call it biological breastfeeding, but the key is you want to be nice and reclined. I'm nice and reclined. I'm not sitting up. I'm laying back and I'm comfortable. And then you're going to go ahead and bring baby onto your abdomen, and you're going to let your baby find your breast and basically self-latch. Laying back helps with gravity. Gravity is coming this way, so not as much milk is going to forcefully push out. It helps baby get a good latch. Baby's able to get a nice deep latch. It's hard with this baby because he's pretty rigid, but you just kind of lay him on there, and they oftentimes in this position will just kind of relax and collapse into you. And once you find the position that's comfortable and you both like, nursing can get a lot better. You can use an extra pillow like this to kind of support baby and be in this laid back position. Baby can kind of be over here on the side. There's no one right, perfect way to do laid back breastfeeding. But what's important is that you are comfortable and your baby is comfortable and you're reclined enough. I think a lot of people who do laid back breastfeeding don't recline themselves quite enough. So they're still in an awkward position like right here, and it's not really helping. But you get nice and reclined like this, and it can be very helpful for latch challenges and many other things. So another position that I'm going to teach you guys is side lying. And this is a position that I think can be kind of awkward to learn at first, but it's so beneficial, especially for co-sleeping, napping together, or just laying down and relaxing and having some quiet time with your baby. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what side lying looks like. I love to use a pillow that kind of supports my head and neck enough. I like to fold my pillows. I'm weird. And I bring this top arm or this bottom arm, I bring that up nice and high. I keep it either under my pillow. Sometimes I'll put it under baby's head. If you're, depending on how big your baby is, you might need to support your baby a little bit to bring them into the breast. So you can support your baby and bring him into the breast this way. See, baby's on his side, I'm on my side. Or you can bring your arm up nice and high and bring baby to breast on the side and just have your arm, you know, stroking your baby, help them latch here. Make sure you're bringing your baby to breast height. I find one of the biggest challenges that people find with side lying is they have a tendency to want their baby to be up like this, and that's not really gonna work. You gotta keep your baby at breast height for all of these positions. People tend to either try to be too low or too high, and just let your baby be at breast height. Let your baby find his way. We'll talk about co-sleeping in another video, but I do want to show you how my body creates a C position around the baby, and this is actually a very protective position for co-sleeping. Like I said, we can talk more about that another time, but I just wanted to point that out. So this is one of my favorite nursing positions. It really is. I could just take a nap right now with this fake little baby. I have one more position to show you guys, and this one is a little different. It's one that we don't talk about a lot, and I'll do another video on more detail, but this is called dangle feeding. And this position is really useful for when you have clogged ducts to kind of help clear that duct. So dangle feeding is exactly what you would imagine. You dangle your breast over your baby. So you have baby laying on their back like this. Now remember, this is kind of opposite of the gravity thing, is kind of opposite of laid back, where we're trying to get the milk coming out instead of staying back. So that's why we're gonna go upside down. And if you have a clog, you're gonna want baby's chin to be pointing to wherever the clog is. So say I have a clog on the lateral side of my breast, then I will have baby's chin this way, and I would lay baby on their back and literally dangle over baby like this. I'll show you from the side what this looks like. You would literally dangle over the baby like this and let them latch and nurse. You're never putting pressure on baby to smother baby. You're staying up high enough to not be putting pressure on baby. It's not a position you're going to be in for a long time because it's not usually comfortable, but it can be very effective for helping clear a clog. And I'll do another video on clearing clogs so that we can talk more in depth about that. Okay, so I promised you guys one special important tip that is so true no matter what position your baby is in, to get a good latch and to get a good breastfeeding position. When you're positioning your baby to breastfeed, no matter which way you're holding your baby, whether it's cross cradle, cradle, cross cradle, football, side lying, we have something that you need to keep in mind. You need to make sure that baby's ear, shoulder, and hip stay in a straight line. When they are in alignment that way, they can get the best latch. I find a lot of moms are struggling to get a good latch because their baby's head is turned like that. Instead of having baby belly to belly and in alignment, ear, shoulder, hip, they have baby like this and baby's head is turned to the side like this. You see there's no alignment here. I want you to sit like this and turn your head and imagine being like this and taking a bite of food and chewing and swallowing. That wouldn't be very comfortable, especially if you were still just learning how to eat. And that makes it much harder for a baby to get a deep latch also. So that's why my number one positioning tip when breastfeeding to get a good latch is keeping the ear, shoulder, and hip in alignment. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please go ahead and hit the like button because that helps more families get these tips and tricks right straight to their computer. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit subscribe for me because that's going to help me reach more families, and that really helps me to be able to continue making these helpful videos for you guys. I can't wait to talk to you guys again and answer any questions you have. Bye. Say bye, Frankfurt. Bye.